So I found this guy, and he does React content, I guess, and he did a video speaking about drama within the React world, which I've kind of been taking notice because I do React response type content, and obviously it is an issue, and I try to take in other points of view because if I do this style of content, which I do enjoy doing with you guys, I want to make sure I do it in a right way, or a holistic, informative, productive way, if there is such a thing. So I kind of want to see what his breakdown on it is.
I'm supposed to be a thief, like from The Sims. This is an old blanket. Actually, Frankie's inside of it.
Oh, man.
Just kidding. She watched me do that from the corner over there. She's a... You guys know that I don't exactly like Sniper Wolf. I've made quite a few videos on the Queen of YouTube. A guy named Jack.
I think Sniper Wolf has been fairly successful, but I don't know anything about her and I don't watch her content, so I can't give very deep thought on it, but we'll see what it says. I also don't know Jack's films. So we're going into this video knowing that right out the gate, but do reaction content and I know what the drama is about.
Jack's films, who I used to watch all the time when I was but a wee boy, also does not like Sniper Wolf. He recently made a video about Sniper Wolf called Let's Talk About Sniper Wolf. He brings up a lot of very valid points in this video. The main points, which we will go much deeper into, are that she is making millions and millions of dollars, getting hundreds of millions of views a month, by the way, off just watching TikToks and then uploading that content to her channel. And
she found her niche, and like honestly, depending on how it's done, there's part of me that really hates reaction content if that reaction content doesn't improve the storyline, the conversation, or you are not adding anything to the content itself other than making a funny face or saying something that's already been said or displayed on the screen. I think it's lazy content. I understand why people do it because it does well. The only thing worse than some of that stuff where you make a funny face, in my opinion, is the TikTok trend where they add a splice and they throw in like someone doing a speed run with no commentary, or they show someone playing with Play-Doh with no commentary underneath or side by side of a video in which nothing's actually being added. You're just really showing their video and added something to the side of it to make it different.
And it is worse than that. You guys may be saying, well, Umpaville, you...
And to be clear, some of those Play-Doh things and some of those are like ultra satisfying and could probably be content on their own without having the top half of the screen being someone else's content or a snippet of a movie or TV show. But, you know, whatever.
Do that exact same thing. That's true. That's why I wanted to make this video.
Call him out.
I think it's important to talk about this kind of stuff. So Jack's main point about Sniper Wolf is that she is doing more harm than not by just taking people's content and reacting to it, posting it to get, you know, more views than the original videos. Also, while minimizing the amount of effort required to make her content, or non-tent, as Jack calls it, which I like that a lot. And he's right. I mean, it is embarrassing. It's crazy. She gets hundreds of millions of views a month, like I said, and there is almost no trickle down from her viewers to the people's videos that she's talking about.
But that being said, that doesn't mean that those organic videos would get views outside of what she's doing. Right? Because there's not always crossover in that world where someone who watches, I don't know, someone who watches Asmongold won't necessarily always watch CoffeeZilla. They don't like the same type of content. So there's no guarantee that because Asmongold did the video, CoffeeZilla is losing a view. There's the reverse argument of that as well, because they don't always have shared audiences or target audiences. That, you know, is something to consider in the whole trickle down theory of views on the interweb, because people spend time where they want to spend time.
I mentioned is the lack of commentary, the lack of additional transformative value added to the videos that she's reacting.
Y'all are real creative on this app.
So I'm just here to tell you I'm not going to do that.
I'm no expert on commentary or being entertaining, but this does not really seem like valid commentary to me. I mean, come on! And by the way,
it's a hard distinction to make because someone's value to that video is not the same as your value to the video. I don't think it's right. And I think that if you're stone dead quiet or you don't actually add to a conversation, that it's not really transformative. But that being said, everyone's metric of value add is different. So it's a very hard, nuanced conversation to have.
it gets substantially worse. There's a conspiracy theory that she doesn't even react to the video, and I would like to let Jack know about that because he'd find that really interesting. We'll move on.
That is interesting.
And circle back. In Jack's video, he goes on to explain that he even asked the people that she reacted to their content, he asked them if she asked for permission to put it in her video. You know, the whole getting permission and then boosted exposure, like, what are those fucking cringe things? They just buy a bunch of clips and then copyright anyone who uses them. Jukin, demonic Jukin. Lo and behold, she did not ask for permission from anyone that she's ever made a video on, and to be honest, most content creators and reaction channels that do that probably don't ask permission because there's a little thing called fair use. We'll get into that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Asking everyone permission for every video you watch or add to or comment on is kind of, I don't want to say impossible. It's a bear. It adds a lot of processes that if you are using fair use and it's fair use and you're engaging in or adding to the conversation, I didn't ask him permission, but realistically, if he came to me and said, hey, I don't like that you made that video and I'd prefer you take it down, I'd take it down. And like when it gets out there, if that's what happens, it's what happens. But I do think it's fair use. And I would make the argument that like I'm adding to the conversation. I'm trying to develop a dialogue between your point of view and my point of view. And if they accept it, they accept it. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to like fight people over it.
That as well. Not only did Sniper Wolf not ask for permission, she also didn't at anyone or crop the videos, which is insane. That's like what fucking...
I do hate that. I think every video that I've done, I at the creator and I post the individual link. I think that's very important in this whole process is whilst you're doing something that may change or move the conversation, you have to give credit where credit is due because they made the video, they put the time and effort, and you should appreciate that time and effort, and you should want that conversation to continue, and that involving the original creator.
And meme pages do. And all this stuff kind of compounds because there's a lot of pages on, let's say, TikTok or Twitter in which you go and all of their stuff is stolen as well. So it's like a rabbit hole of trying to find who the original creator was. And generally on TikTok, it has a little watermark or whatever, but it's tough to make it back to the original source sometimes.
Yeah.
The point of Jack's video is that she's hurting people. She's taking views away from the people who make the projects, who are actually creative, who are actually doing something, and you know, genuinely creating, and then she's just getting the payout without any effort put in whatsoever. And by God, spectacular commentary.
Paper is made out of trees.
On top of all this,
Obviously.
every one of Sniper Wolf's videos basically goes viral. She gets millions of views every single
she's got
video,
a fan
and
base.
the TikToks or YouTube videos that she's putting in these, there's no evidence that there is any sort of trickle down. In my opinion, his main point isn't the fact that she's just stealing. She's a reaction YouTuber. I don't think he actually cares that much about that, but he's just systematically going through every single bad thing that she does and has used to build herself up as a person who appears outwardly good and is even rewarded by YouTube as a system. This is what I believe is his true reasoning. And it is infuriating. Jack brought up the problem on Twitter, and Sniper Wolf snapped back and called him sexist and brought up how it's a gender issue that she makes terrible shit ass-tier content, poo-poo, dog water. He said that the primary reason was that YouTube was rewarding her content and even shouting her out and asking where she gets all of her ideas from. I mean, where does Sniper Wolf get video ideas from? From fans, of course.
She gets her video ideas from videos. I mean,
yeah, that's where she gets her video ideas from, dude. Fans fucking just going on her For You page and just scrolling down. That's what I do. It's fucking easy. The problem stems from her being a recognized creator and a celebrated creator for literally creating nothing. She has never made anything original in her life. And that bothers me, and that seems to bother Jack's films as well. I mean, even with the Mr. Beastification of YouTube, Mr. Beast has done more for content than she ever has.
Mr. Beast knows so much about the algorithm and how everything works that it's unreal, and he will be unmatched for, I think, quite a while in the way he develops, curates, and delivers content. And, like, they're two completely different worlds that aren't even comparable, really.
Literally ever. And she's been doing this for such a long time.
If anything, the comparisons need to be in the realm of Asmongold, Moist Critical, and some of the other people who watch videos and give commentary and, like, break down what's actually going on. And then you have an argument of these people are doing more for the creation space than she is because they're much more comparable. And it gets you closer to an apples to apples conversation, even though it's still probably not exactly the same.
Mr. Beast has done more for content with one video than she has in her entire career on YouTube of like 50 years or whatever, whenever she's not fucking in jail or being arrested for domestic violence, allegedly. Now on to the main, most glaring issue.
Low blow. It's outside of the issue. I don't think that arguments like that should be brought into videos like this because I think it's off base and it's not attacking the issue at hand. It's attacking the individual, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Like, stick to the topic and don't go for personal attacks when making arguments. Just a personal opinion there.
Just steals videos and uploads them on YouTube. This is kind of a meta, in all honesty. A lot of YouTubers do this. A lot of streamers do this. I have a second channel literally dedicated to it. And by no means am I even remotely as successful as being a bad person as Sniper Wolf is. And most streamers aren't. Maybe XQC, maybe Asmongold. They find stuff instantaneously and react to it.
He's so quick. I find some videos and I'm like, I'm going to schedule that. And then Asmongold video is already out on the YouTube. It's like, damn it. He's so fast. It's unreal.
They actually say shit and add content. She somehow created her own niche of being the worst possible reaction YouTuber that there is.
Father is real excited. He got a whole pizza to himself.
And gotten the most rewarded for it. In my opinion, there's a very clear difference between reaction YouTubers and people who react to videos. Like Jinx is a reaction YouTuber. Sniper Wolf is a reaction YouTuber. A lot of...
I think we had this argument a while ago, and I think we need to break the genre down. I think reaction is no longer accurate to what's going on within the space of reaction. I think we need to distinguish between reaction videos and response videos. If you are making counterpoints or adding to the conversation in which the topic is, just like what I'm doing right now, where I'm changing parts of the narrative in order to show nuance or either take away or add to the argument of the original creator, I am responding and creating a dialogue versus reacting and just watching something and hoping that, like, my face shows the appropriate emotion. Response videos are very low energy. They don't add to the conversation and they don't change a lot of the content, where response videos continue to move a conversation forward. And I think the genre of react needs to be broken in half, and people need to start recognizing the difference between react content and response content.
reaction channels are just commentary channels. In my opinion, I really don't know. I don't watch any of the lowbrow ones such as Sniper Wolf. If you want to see the best lowbrow one that there is though, go to Oompa TV. All right, guys. I literally just watch memes.
He is the problem.
So I'm kind of like Sniper Wolf, but a male, I think. Now, put aside my intention of what I've been saying to be a bit ham-handed and hypocritical. I know I have a reaction channel. I know a lot of my friends have reaction channels. It's a different thing. What Sniper Wolf is doing is not fair use. She's simply repeating what's happening in these videos and saying nothing.
Create a fake iPad that you can draw on.
And that's all she ever does and all she ever says. She's never, you know, it's fine to do whatever one, but all 15 where you're just reading the what's happening. Oh, it's a cup. Oh, there's water in the cup. Oh, the cup is tilting to the left.
Is this how you YouTube? Am I doing it wrong?
I love fair use, and most of YouTube just...
I'm doing it wrong. That's how you YouTube. I've been doing it wrong this whole time. It's a problem.
Depends on fair use, but I don't think this is fair use, what Sniper Wolf is doing, which is just talking over stuff and then she's abusing free use content. I remember being front and center when iDubbbz made a video on Jinx back in the day and just trashed reaction channels. I believe that entirely. I believe 100% that that was a terrible thing because Jinx had zero sort of personality. He was completely devoid of any value added to videos that he was reacting to. A good channel that reacts to a lot of stuff, in my opinion, is Critical. Critical adds a lot of anecdotes.
Yeah,
he does some Googling. He doesn't have the highest production value, but he doesn't fucking need it, dude. He's a legend, all right? And Asmongold, same thing. I like Asmongold's reaction videos. I would rather personally watch something that I would never watch because Asmongold gets let out to pasture and decides to come over and eat an apple while fucking watching something with me, some shit about Diablo, which...
And that kind of hits the point, right, that I made earlier, where I don't think there's a lot of overlap in communities, where someone who's watching someone like Asmongold is not always watching CoffeeZilla or Sunny V2 or some of the other stuff he reacts to because they want the added commentary to see how he's going to break it down, rip it apart, something like that. And like, that is not stealing views at the end of the day. That is changing the content and making it something that a different audience wants. Fair use will always be a huge debate, but if you're doing the steps where you're actually increasing the value of the video or changing the value of the video in some way, it's there.
I'm probably part of the problem, but I would sit there and watch him watch it because he adds insight, because he's a smart, logical man who makes some pretty wild takes that I enjoy. Same with Critical. And that's also what I try to do on my second channel, which is incredibly low effort, by the way. The main point, in my opinion, is the insane reward for the insane lack of effort in the content. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know if you guys think all reaction channels are the same, if you just think reactions are just shit and terrible, whatever. That's completely valid. I know a lot of people who have made videos that have gotten reacted to, they don't really seem to care. It's just a lot of area of gray. And Jack absolutely recognizes that, and Jack absolutely recognizes the fact that Sniper Wolf is exploiting this to a level that has never been seen before. I love reading.
I think there is a difference between the two styles of reaction. I think that drawing the line in the sand between the two is a very difficult process, though. I think it's very clear that there are two different types of reaction response content, but drawing the line where one starts and one ends can be difficult from time to time. And I always hope to stay on the response side where I'm adding to a conversation and not be dead face half the time I'm sitting on screen.
Sniper Wolf's comments, because people love just giving her praise. Completely deserved praise too. I mean, look at this. Can we just appreciate how much effort she puts in every video she makes? I just love her energy. Let's appreciate how many effort she put into her videos. She always makes us happy and puts effort into her videos no matter what she's going through. She always puts a smile on our face and educates us. People are being educated by Sniper Wolf. Oh, fuck! She's awesome, dude. I mean, it's incredible that is a thing. That
attacking the fans doesn't help either. This is another argument where I think you are detracting from the overall issue by raising an argument or point that takes away from your argument or point. Personal attacks when you're trying to raise an issue is bad, and attacking people adjacent to the problem that you are trying to raise is also bad. This is another form of a personal attack in a serious issue that takes away from your overall argument.
That exists on the internet. To not be sexist, someone who reacts to videos that I think does a good job and makes pretty good content is Imaru, all right? A streamer that reacts to stuff and uploads it. But anyways, let's back up a moment. The bombshell is that these videos that Sniper Wolf makes are even less interesting than you could possibly imagine. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? Well, Sniper Wolf has a dark, dirty fucking secret. The clips that Sniper Wolf is reacting to in some of her videos aren't actually even there.
Doug, you bring up a point. The debate is over morals in the issue. And I think that comes down to intent a lot, right? And intent is impossible to prove in court, right? But if your intention is to add to a conversation, then I think you're going into the response space with the right attitude to try to develop these larger conversations throughout communities. If you're going into it for clicks, views, likes, and you want to do the absolute minimum amount of effort to the absolute biggest payday, your morals are wrong. And you're not going into the space with a attitude that advances content. So, like, the morality of it, I think, is a big issue.
She's not actually even reacting to them. She's reading a fucking Google Doc while she sits at her PC and just has the reaction edited in. Are you for real right now? I'm for real. Look at this. There's multiple instances in which you can see the reflection of her monitors in her fucking glasses, and it's just white. You see her microphone, and you see just a white screen. I don't see this video with the quirky trampoline, white boy jumping off it and hurting himself. I see a fucking...
Like, light reflection is really odd, but I think that's not a good look. And then at the end of the day, you have this situation where she could literally have like so many like pre-developed reactions and just splice in videos to the reaction. So she could have like 100 reactions in general and just splice in different like reactions to fit the video close enough that you wouldn't notice it. That's taking it to a whole new level. That's almost adding more effort than is required. But wait,
Google Doc. What the fuck is wrong with you? You might say, well, maybe she has multiple monitors. No, she made a room tour video, and if we're to believe that that's even real, she just has one monitor. And
oh, okay, so this makes it more reasonable because I don't like that it makes it more reasonable, but it makes it more reasonable because it... Wait, does it make it harder for her to react with only the one monitor? Is there something that prevents her from recording the monitor and her reaction at the... Is this a, like, tech issue that prevents her from having both up at the same time? I don't know how to break that down. I don't like it. I don't, and like, if you make this much money off of doing this type of content, you can buy a second monitor. Like, if this is your primary job and this is how you make your most money, you can get another monitor, I think, and solve whatever tech issue that may arise from only having one monitor. Yeah, this is It's not a good look.
And, well, 2 monitors. One's plugged into a PS5, though, not a PC. So it isn't even really reaction commentary. It's more of just a scripted performance. There's no fair use whatsoever. It is literally illegal. I'm pretty sure. This is just not how...
Counterpoint. If I watch this entire video and then I take notes while I watch the video instead of doing it live like I'm doing now, and I take notes... and then I take this video and I store it, and then I go through my points on a script and record them and then splice them in, that's still fair use. It's still fair use. It's the same process. I'm just adding another step, right? That's a counterpoint to that. I get what he's saying because it's not a legitimate reaction at the time, but the fair use is about the additive transformative content. And if in this case I were to watch this video, take notes, and then record my responses and splice them in, that would be the same as what I'm doing right now.
This works. You can't just do this. One of the funniest parts about this whole situation, though, is Jack decided to try the formula himself. He created an entire channel dedicated to reacting to just her content and rating it from an A to F scale, and then also trying to credit the people that are being stolen from, which is baller. And I think it's hilarious. Sniper Wolf's formula that Jack applied to his content that he's making now on his second channel, the formula works very well.
Look, according to Jack, she might not have the best grade point average, but she's passing. So, I mean, there's that.
Sniper Wolf has gotten billions of views a year, by the way. She's one of the most viewed YouTubers that has been the most consistently viewed for the longest period of time. She's probably made $100 million. I don't fucking know. Say she makes $1 million a month. Takes a couple years to make $100 million, including brand deals. She's made a lot of money. At least $31 million. And it doesn't have anything to do with sponsors or brand deals or merch or anything else.
It's not small at all.
Fuck, dude. I need to make more fucking money. Now, I do want to say that this video from Jack highlights an opportunity for me specifically to take responsibility for any idiocy that I've done in my reaction videos, because that's part of the content that I make is reaction content. I personally do enjoy myself watching reaction content. Like I said, I'm part of the problem, but I would like to minimize harm as much as I possibly can and start linking people that are in the videos, the original creators, if I can find them, because before
So at a bare minimum, this conversation has started a change and a recognition. So he is willing to recognize what some of the videos that he'd done in the past doesn't follow this chain of thought that he wants to be involved in, and he's trying to make it better and trying to make sure he gives credit where credit is due. So at a bare minimum, that progression of this conversation moving the space in the right direction to making sure everyone gets recognized for their efforts and you're actually transforming the content is, I think, the biggest part in this whole process and takeaway.
I didn't really think about the severity of the problem, and complacency is sort of the pretense for ignorance.
Complacency
so
kills.
My bad. I'm capable of making mistakes and being a bad person. So yeah, going forward, we're going to be improving the second channel a lot and doing some more just kind of talking commentary stuff there and trying to actually transform the videos as much as possible and provide as much value. Here, I'll give you guys an example because I still believe that I'm better than fucking Sniper Wolf. I would have to take a long walk off a short pier if I held myself to the same level in my head. So I've gotten many copyright claims on that channel because I react to TLC. I will counter the claim saying, hey, this is transformative. I believe that my commentary added something to the video, and I genuinely believe that in good faith. And if not, I will gladly take the video down, or you can keep the money, whatever you want to do. I will not fight this in any way if it is not considered by you fair use, the original creator. 9 times out of 10, the claims get lifted. And it's all good and positive. So even the system that is in place to prevent stuff like that, with like long form content, television shows, things like that, old TV, shit that can get copyrighted, that generally works very well. The main problem is that those protections don't exist for smaller creators on TikTok or people who just make little short viral videos. So I will do my absolute best to improve the second channel and try to be the best possible version of a reaction channel that there is until things change. And I don't need to continue making so many videos, guys, because I'm trying to make money. I've been trying to make money for a while now, and you all know why. I wouldn't have a reaction channel if it weren't for that. If you show just a fraction of support for the things that I talk about or enjoy that I share with you guys in my videos, I would be immensely appreciative. And if at the end of the day, you wouldn't ever watch anything like that and you just want to watch it because I'm watching it, that's perfectly valid as well, because I feel that way about a lot of content. So what can we do about Sniper Wolf? Nothing. Literally nothing. She's completely set in her ways, has no desire to take responsibility for anything that she's ever done. She has a long track record of just kind of deflecting shit. There's no incentive for her to change in any way. There's no reason for her to change. There will be no consequences. Her audience will not hold her accountable. It's a bunch of children, dude. They're gonna fucking they're either gonna be watching Sniper Wolf, or they're gonna be watching Minecraft. It's one or the other, dude. Or Granny gameplay, which is sick. And yeah, thank you for the video, Jack, and thank you guys for watching this video. It's YouTube's choice to put her on a pedestal.
I don't know. I think like there were some good points in there, and I think it's a very complicated issue in the way that it's done right now. It's interesting. Obviously, like the whole like small streamer versus TV is largely amount of teams that watch that content and develop it and, you know, take legal action after all of it makes a huge difference in the space. There's also the intended art and what are you adding to it, I guess. If you were to watch like a movie or TV show, what is your commentary and how does it transform the content is always going to be at the heart of the question. I don't know. I think there's a very like nuanced and complicated approach to this whole thing that makes it very hard to draw a like hard line between one versus the other. But I think we can recognize like some of these people put in way less effort into adding content to the content versus people who are trying to like move things forward. I think like right now this recording is sitting at 30 minutes on a 15-minute video. I've doubled the length of the video depending on editing and where it falls in giving my point of view and counterpoints to the entire argument. If my end product video is a quarter, somewhere between a quarter to double the length added, then obviously I've added something, and there would be value in that, as long as it's not just me pausing the video and staring at the camera lovingly. Complicated issue, but I think there's room in the space for response videos and adding to commentary and like helping spreading the word. I don't think that there is in every case, if someone gets views based on a response reaction video, you are stealing content or views from someone else, because there's not always overlap. And I think that people should be aware of whether they are giving credit to where credit is due to the original creators when they partake in this type of content. And if I fall short on any of those three aspects, I would hope people would call me out. All right, give the video a link. Go check him out. It's Oopaville. I dropped the link. It will be down in the comments below. Check out the creator, check out the content, and make sure you give the video a like. And subscribe. Do this stuff. You want all that? All of that. Hey there, it's Skeg Broggy. Thanks for watching the video. And if you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and follow me here on Twitch for more awesome content. Link is in the description.